Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, Tom Brady, the Bucks, 2 picks, Monday Night Football. We're breaking down both. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. So, got the idea from this from watching Bruce Arians, I think, post-game interview somewhere online, and saw that he said these 2 interceptions were Tom getting hit and a misread. We are diving into it. What does the All-22 tape say? Let's see. All right, so the first pick we're looking at here, down here at the bottom of the screen, we're going to get a short motion, big post, half-field safety up top. Obviously, the throw is not where he wants it. Gets hit a little bit. Looks like, sounds like. We'll see from the back end. For me, there are always, it's never just one thing, right? Well, obviously, if he gets hit, it's one thing. But this is by no means kind of a clean shot where he just gets blasted. Does he get everything he wants into the throw? Probably not. But I also think that there are elements of the construction of this play that could have potentially helped create a better opportunity down the field. So the first thing I want to talk about, let's just talk pure scheme here. So we are getting basically a 2-person route, a little short motion. So we're going to get a little short motion here. What this short motion does is it is supposed to look like he is going to go dig this safety out or the force player out, which is a great look versus quarters. So right here, it looks like we're going to get some variation of quarters. This looks like a half-field player, cloud corner, rolled up corner. So just normal quarter, half, back end, middle field, open. Well, the only bummer about doing the short motion is, yes, it comes down here, but when you go to run this post, it condenses the window, right? If you were out here, it'd be a bigger window, but the corner would probably be inside. See how he's inside right here. So when you go down here, not only do you have this potential allure to go in there and block the force, MDM, most dangerous, however you want to determine it, you also, when you go to run that post, most often will now get that corner on outside leverage with still a quarter safety here, depending on what their checks are and how far you go with that motion. So that's the good part about it. The bad part about it is when you go in motion to then come in here and run this, a big post on the outside, you would never think that the backside half-field safety would come into play. And would he come into play if he didn't get hit? Probably not. But he does get hit, and he does come into play. So again, just the construction of the play, when you make these choices, this little short motion really impacts this play, in my opinion, because if you were to stay out here, maybe stem inside, come up and run the big post, does that, when he gets hit, it just hits the ground. It doesn't hit this guy in the chest. So again, all sorts of reasons why you don't condense formations. And obviously the Rams are a big condensed formation themselves, but you can see just the check there. It does nothing but change the leverage of the corner, which is massive when you're constructing these types of plays. So it goes from inside leverage, there he is. That's exactly where we want. So it'd be great if he just stayed right there on the number, in a perfect world with a clicker. Play action. Again, that corner to me, really the corner down here squeezes this play more than anything else. He's over the top the entire time. You could potentially throw him, 60 yards down the field and he'd run by him. But when he gets hit, it's obviously going to impact the throw. But again, the first time I watched this, I wasn't sure that him getting hit impacted the throw at all. But it certainly does, right across the chest, holds it short. Again, the reason I want to pay attention to it, though, it's not just he got hit. There are also some offensive architecture decisions that lead to these types of turnovers. So yeah, you get the right leverage you want, but you also close the window and make other defenders come into play for anything that isn't perfect. Again, on all these turnovers, always looking for effort. Nice job by the big guys getting them out of bounds. Again, play action here. Little 12 personnel. Again, keeping 8 guys in, selling out on the run. This is just one of those things that gets happen. Oversets, gets beat inside. Just that. Enough to miss the throw by 10 yards. I wouldn't say this is late or anything. It's one hitch, let it go. And it kind of looks like it's a little herky-jerky at the very back where it's kind of like hitch it. But I think either way, when you get a guy running right across your face, right at your feet, right at the launch point, you're going to have issues if you get hit. And that's exactly what happens. That's the outcome. Again, looking effort. Gronkowski, nice job holding the force, push him out of bounds. Great. Great. Good as you can do. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications, let you know when we go live, when we put out new content. We are going live over the holiday weekend at some point, I hope. Let's get it going back into the video. The next one here, the one that's quote unquote a misread, you can see the safeties, rocker to middle field closed. Variation of man, seam, sky mails on him. Again, would you like to go somewhere else with the ball? Absolutely. Have we all seen people, even on this channel, throw seams versus middle field close? Man, sure. Yes, I don't think it necessarily a misread. What I do think is just a poorly thrown ball, a ball that he wishes would come back. So scheme-wise here, we're getting two seams. Seam, seam. On the outside, we're getting, it looks like stops, what I'm used to calling stops, not hitches. I would think hitches are more 5-yard-ish. Stops to me are a little bit more sell the vertical, open inside, little stop or a hinge route or a 9 back, whatever you want to call it. So this is a great middle field closed play. I think what they end up doing here is rockering what I'm going to call lurk, and what I call 1 lurk or 11 lurk. That just means to me the weak of the free safeties is coming down. The reason I say it's the weak one is because the back's offset this way, 2+2, 2x2 over here with the back strong. But again, they could call it whatever they want to the field, any different way to call these things. So you get this rocker here. He's now down in the middle. Got man everywhere else. Easy to see man. When you go middle field closed and you've got these two seams and you like the matchups, I honestly don't know a program, organization, franchise that doesn't want you to potentially take a shot here. Now, it gets harder in man, middle field closed. Why? Because they're carrying these verticals. They're running with them. If they were in zone, they might try to reroute and then get to their flat or get to their hook. But middle field closed man, it's a little harder. It's not impossible, though. He goes middle field closed. He goes lurk. Again, he's carrying the vertical, carrying the vertical, carrying the vertical. To me, he still makes the right throw. Usually you want to do this, you want to throw the seam away from where the guy is rockering to the middle. So where's the middle field player going to? From right here, he's going this way. So this is the seam you want to throw. Now you can't throw it 5 yards over his head, but if for whatever reason it's not clean, you don't love it, he carries them, he's right with them. These stops are outstanding versus man coverage. Obviously, the ball needs to go to one of the stops here when you overthrow the seam. Given, right? Clicker, pen, thanks a lot for the insight. The other thing to pay attention to here is just a game situation. You know, oftentimes this check down is as good as anything. So if you love the seam versus middle field closed, and he obviously loved the seam here, take a peek post-snap. If you love it, if he beats him, if he gaps him, throw it. If not, if it's muddy, if it's blurry, if he carries him, work to the stop. If for some reason you're late on the stop to whatever side of the seam that you worked. So if you work this seam, you can peek this almost like an alert or 1. So 1, 2, 1, 2 off the middle field player. Then if that's not there, just throw it to the check down, which is he's done as well as anybody over the course of his career. This is not magical stuff. I don't think it's a misread. I just think it's a bad throw, bad decision. Again, you know, it's tough to get that seam into that side with that lurker coming down. But if he were to throw that flatter where he wants to, you know, he's probably expecting that guy to keep running vertically. To me, he kind of bends in like he's running a bender. Well, both the guys kind of run in like they're running a bender. And who knows, they might teach it differently than I've been used to having it taught and teach it. But when you get middle field closed, you want to get up into the seam area. You don't want to bend it towards the middle field player. See how both the seams are bending towards the middle? That's not at least in my opinion, that's not the route that we want to see, how we want to run a seam. I don't care if it's middle field closed with outside leverage like that. You want to get up, keep running vertical, let the quarterback throw you up the field. But, okay, let's say no to the seam up top. They're carrying him, don't like it. Check out the stop up top. Check out the stop down here, the bottom. Right? 2 winners. Another thing that'll really make you sick, and I'm sure he's seen it many times, is the check down. Again, they got a timeout here. I know I'm rewinding this thing a lot, but there's a lot of options here. There's always a story to every interception. It's not just, hey, I overthrew it. It's what else was there? Where should the ball should have gone? And just a few plays a game, win or lose a game right here. Middle field closed, seams, no, stops, yes, check down, yes. That L, tough. One more time from the back end, the timing of this thing. Again, you get a really good picture of the check down. No, check down. Look at the check down. That'll just make you sick. Very nice job exiting right there by the back. That's a really nice check down. But the timing here, 1, 2, 3, throw it. And he just comes out high, in my opinion, I don't love the route. Tough. So that's a wrap. Tom Brady, 2 picks, rough. Did he get hit on the one? Probably. Construction of the play, potentially an issue. The other one, a read, the ball sails on him, some other guys potentially open. You can see just the minute little details about some of these plays can lead to massive turnovers. I still think the Buccaneers are fascinating to watch because they do throw it down the field. They are aggressive. They do have the best quarterback to ever do it. And so blending that perimeter with what their potential looks like down the road. But make no mistake about it, the kind of plan is out, as the plan has always been out to a certain extent. If you hit any quarterback, it's going to be some issues, but it is interesting for me to see Tom in a different system, being able to play some plays that potentially he's never seen before or played before, even though I don't think these two are the case, and how that blends together with how they go on a run here, because he knows real football doesn't start until after Thanksgiving, and it is that time of the year. We'll see what the Bucs do in the second half, last third of the season.